The new Half-Life Alyx might become a worthwhile investment for you, even if you do not own a VR headset. Bold statement, but hear me out. His computer is not plugged in.
Source.
As you're all aware, Half-Life Alyx launched not too long ago. This first AAA VR game is truly impressive. But I'm not here to tell you how amazing it is. There have been other people who already told you that. What is amazing to me about this game, or rather the community behind it, not a week has passed since its launch, and modding projects are already well underway.
But Half-Life Alyx did not come out with a software development kit.
Well, no, person with the funny voice, but you should know that people are very resourceful and quite imaginative. And one of these new modding teams is Project Quarantine. If you guys, I happen to know, have already created their own modding tools and are busy porting over the original Half-Life 2 to the Source 2 engine, which of course came with Half-Life Alyx. Project Quarantine is, so to speak, Half-Life 2 Source 2, but unlike its next-generation engine port predecessor, Half-Life Source, it's not going to be utter trash. Or so I assume, knowing these people. They are aiming more for the Black Mesa Source experience, which of course took 15 years, and I hope they will be faster. And how is it possible to mod the game so quick after the launch? Because not a full day had passed after the game's release and they were already beginning to work. You see, a big inspiration for this came with the preload version of Half-Life Alyx. Let's call it the Day Zero build. It came with a whole bunch of material left in there from the development time, including a lot of material left over from the days of Half-Life 3's development, which includes weaponry from Half-Life 2, and of course also the old regular FPS movement on the, well, 2D screen version, non-VR. But that's not all. There are also assets from Half-Life 2 Episode 3 and a lot more from cancelled and unfinished projects. Turn away now and shut down your audio for 10 seconds because, spoiler alert, slowly count to 10 and then turn the audio back on. Alright, you ready? Okay, the crowbar in the end of Half-Life Alyx, which you hold as Gordon Freeman in the remade hangar from the ending of Half-Life 2 Episode 2, was taken from Half-Life 3. Okay, spoiler ending. Furthermore, I want to note that Half-Life Alyx includes a whole bunch of assets and models created for Half-Life 3, not only that one thing I mentioned. Such as this lady by the window. There are a lot more animations not created for Half-Life Alyx included in her model files. A little trivia that you, I guess, only will find out if you take the game apart, is that Russell, the guy here, is Laszlo, at least he's called Laszlo in the game files. Oh, you know, Laszlo, the finest mind of his generation, eaten by antlions.
Laszlo, don't move! No. Help! Dear God! Poor Laszlo! The finest mind of his generation.
But back to the modding efforts. A few days ago, the guys demonstrated the non-VR mode to me and what they were planning with it. A truly marvelous world of opportunity to discover.
He's
Introducing Rubicon. The new physics engine done internally by Valve.
Oh, this poor rat. I remember seeing a video of someone like stretching.
Stiff as a board, and light as a feather.
I can't move him.
I think you killed it.
What about me?
He dead, bro. He dead.
He did.
Our attitude would never have. Damn, the new Ratatouille game looks awesome.
Well, with this basis given by Half-Life Alyx's Day Zero build, these guys are making rapid progress. Of course, what you are seeing right here are just very small steps forward to a fully ported game, but this is foundational work. Black Mesa and Counter-Strike started in a very similar way. But why are they not building a regular FPS mode for Half-Life Alyx? Well, that's for others to do. Quite frankly, I think you should play Half-Life Alyx in VR. VNN recently did a video on that topic and I can only fully agree with him.
And yeah, it needs to be stated, this game is amazing. It's the best thing Valve has made since Portal 1. If you want to play it on a 2D screen, like Half-Life 2, you can. It'll be a novelty, but it's going to suck.
I think in a regular FPS style, the game would be rather short and I dare to say boring. Because armed with an SMG from Half-Life 2, you would just waltz through the game and basically blow up everything. Not quite experienced this very haptic game. Half-Life Alyx is a game to touch, not to run, shoot and think. It's more walk or sneak, shoot and think. And also touch. But of course, someone someday will make a regular FPS port of it. Which may be done with the indirect help from the creators of Project Quarantine, because before they get really busy porting over Half-Life 2, they are busy creating the proper tools for it, and they will share them with all of you. Valve has announced that they will release SDK tools, but so far they have not, so it is upon the community to create those. For example, what you are seeing right here is a straight, very basic port of the Ravenholm chapter from Half-Life 2 to Source 2. It's completely broken, the lighting doesn't work, and all the physics stuff doesn't work, but this is proof it is possible to port stuff over from Source 1 to Source 2, and with the correct tools, it's possible to fix it all up and improve upon it. I suppose the guys are not too happy with me showing you this, since it is super basic, but it does serve the point of showing it's already possible to work with it, just barely a week after the launch, which just blows my mind. By the way, the physics are really hilarious in this broken form. Oh, and an interesting side note, the zombies from Half-Life Alyx can be cut in half with the saw blades just like in Half-Life 2. But once all the bugs are ironed out, the textures are working properly, physics puzzles have been translated from Havoc to Rubicon, and scripting has been implemented properly, this all is going to look amazing. I'm pretty sure of that. This may be the starting point of a whole bunch of amazing mods. So many great games started as mods for Half-Life. Day of Defeat, Counter-Strike, Age of Chivalry, Insurgency Modern Infantry Combat, which has now evolved into Insurgency Sandstorm. So many great things started as mods. And until Valve releases their own SDK, these guys try to provide a starting point, so modders can get busy even before Valve releases the official SDK. And this closes the circle to what I said in the beginning of the video. With the potential for modding, Half-Life Alyx can become more than just the first big VR game. It may also become the basis for amazing new games made by fans for fans, which maybe even overtake Half-Life Alyx in its importance, because this happened so often with mods, and I would love to see that again. I am not talking about remakes only, no, I am talking about brand new creations, just like it was the case with Half-Life 2 modding and Gold Source modding before that. The sooner the SDK is out there, the better. I'll be keeping an eye on the development of modding tools and the Half-Life 2 Source 2 port the guys from the Project Quarantine team are working on. This project is once again a testament to the creativity and industriousness of fans, something so few big video game developers and publishers are willing to tolerate. EA and the likes would already be scrambling the legal team, but in this case, Valve is watching with great interest and is very closely following this project. And I am sure this attention will not result in unforeseen consequences. I hope you enjoyed this video and are also looking forward to the Half-Life 2 port to Source 2. For all updates directly by the developers, check out their Twitter, linked in the video description down below. You will find it under the name Project Quarantine. As always, I would like to extend my gratitude to our supporters on Patreon. These guys get to see our content first, because their contributions sponsored my new CPU, which is yet to arrive. Thanks, Quarantine. Not the Half-Life related one, the virus one. But anyways, see you guys next time. Until then, stay safe and healthy, have a nice day, and as always, goodbye and guten Tag.